Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay, so I am talking. If you can hear me, comment pineapples. Hey, okay. Hey, all right, awesome. I'm hearing lots of pineapples. I'm so glad you guys can hear me. Can you see the image? All right, everybody. Hello, welcome. Right now, I'm having a little miniature release party for my movie, which is coming out in like 30 minutes. I have it on the upload setting on YouTube, and it's set for release at 6:30 p.m. And right now, it is 5:53. So I'm here to answer any questions that you guys have about the upcoming movie. Um, you can send them to me on my Instagram, or you can comment them here in the live feed if you would like. Um, and I will start to answer them. Okay, I'm going to go look for some questions on my Instagram. All right, the main question is when will it upload? And the answer is 6:30. Okay, so AG Berkey asked, what is your favorite part of making the movie? And for me, it was definitely the planning stage because this was a really big project to take on. It was fairly ambitious. And I really enjoyed coming up with the storyline and figuring out which songs I was going to use for the soundtrack and just sort of planning out the whole story arc. Someone asked, what inspired you to do this movie? I was actually hanging out with my friend Alex, and we were talking about cool doll movie ideas, and we thought, ooh, time travel. That would be interesting. Someone asked, how long is it? It is 18 minutes long. It is about 15 or 16,000 photos. Someone asked, Who are the main characters? The main characters are sitting right here. This is Camille and this is Julia. Camille is playing a girl named Madison, who is a frustrated teenage girl, and Julia is playing her little annoying cousin. It's taken me 2 summers of work to create Trapped in Time, and last summer I did most of the filming, and then this summer I finished filming and started editing. Okay, someone had a question about the soundtrack. AG Smiley Face Studios asked what my favorite song was from the soundtrack. And actually, the soundtrack is my favorite part about this movie. There are a lot of cool songs in there. One of my favorites is Lights Out, Words Gone by Bombay Bicycle Club. And there's also one in there by Beck, which is called Turn Away, and that's really pretty. Okay, there's a ton of comments. One sec, I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Oh, A.G. Berkey, you said you just cried because I answered your question. Don't cry, it's okay. How long did it take me to make the time machine? So the time machine itself was actually this kind of junky structure. It was just a cardboard box balanced on some plywood, and there was an American Girl doll box in there, and my brother had a little like electronics kit from when he was little, and I used that to be the engine of the time machine. So it only took like 5 minutes to put together. Someone asked, was it hard to film? And actually, for the most part, the filming for this movie was pretty easy because most scenes only had 2 dolls in it. And where filming really becomes difficult is when you have, 8 dolls in a scene and they're all moving at once. So for the most part, this was actually pretty easy to film. The only things that were annoying about it was that filming outside, you have to deal with a lot of bugs. And filming on the green screen is kind of difficult to do it right. Someone asked who my favorite character is in the movie. And I think I honestly would have to say the girl that Julia plays right here, her character, Olivia, is so wonderful. She's definitely annoying and energetic, but she's also very, very wise beyond her years. Someone asked, did I buy anything new for the movie? I don't actually think I did because I have plenty of doll stuff, and most of the things that I needed I could create pretty easily. Someone asked, oh, is it all live clips? Days with Dolls asked, is it all live clips or is it stop motion? And the answer is there are 2 live clips in the entire movie, and they're only about 2 seconds long. So if you guys can figure out where the live clips are, I will be very impressed. Someone asked, how long did it take to edit? Well, if you're looking for an estimate of how many hours it took to edit, probably around 50 hours of editing, maybe a little bit more. But I've been working on it on and off editing for about 2 weeks. Oh, someone's talking about an upcoming 60s doll, and I've heard about her. That's not really related to the movie, but I have heard about Mary Ellen, the American Girl doll from the 60s, and she sounds very cute, and I love her hairstyle. So, okay, back to questions about the movie. Someone asked if I was excited to share the movie, and I definitely am, because it's taken a ton of work to create it over time. But I think the issue is at this point I've watched it so many times that it's kind of lost its charm for me. So I hope you guys will like it, but at this point I'm kind of holding a grudge with my own movie. Someone asked if a lot of people walked by while I was filming, and that was actually kind of a funny question because one of the scenes I filmed on the main road, this big country road near my house, and every once in a while a truck would come by and create a huge dust cloud, and I would have to get up, sort of stand in the middle of the road and block off my set with my arms, wave my arms around and say, whoa, watch out, I'm filming, and made an absolute fool of myself. So yes, I did have to worry about people walking by. Someone asked about Sparkfire Productions, asked how I find time during the school year to film and edit. And the sad thing is I actually don't find that much time during the school year. I do most of my filming and editing during the summer. Pretty much all of Trapped in Time was filmed and edited during the summer. I do occasionally make small videos during the year, but I can't dedicate quite as much, like quite as many blocks of time to making them, just because my days are busier. Oh my gosh. Okay. Canadian AG Girl asked, were there any times you thought you should stop making the movie because it took too long? Um, I think pretty much any time I try to make a long movie, I feel like I have to stop. I definitely have moments where I feel like I've come up against a wall and there's no hope and I should just give up on the whole project. But through my 6 years on YouTube, yeah, 6 years, I've begun to realize that if I push forward past that point where I feel like I've hit a wall, I can create something that I'm proud of. And sometimes I have to restructure a little bit, re record, but it's totally possible to get past that point. And I did lose hope a couple times on this movie, but I was always able to regain my momentum and continue working on it. Someone asked if making the movie was fun, and the answer is yeah, it was so fun. I actually really enjoyed making this one. I think more than I've enjoyed making a lot of other videos, just because I got to work with two dolls in a lot of really beautiful places. I got to experiment with a little bit of green screen, which was really fun. And I also got to develop I think, more complex storyline than most of my videos have. There are sort of multiple conflicts in Trapped in Time, and it was just more interesting to film. Someone asked about tips for making stop motions. AG Pink Blossoms asked about tips for making stop motions when you aren't patient. Um, and the main thing that I do if I'm feeling impatient is I will film for about an hour and then I will go for a run. I'll run like 3 kilometers or something, and then I'll come back. I'll film for another hour, and then I'll go for a run again. And for some reason, if I get that exercise in and tire out my body, it's so much easier to just sit and film. So that's what I do if I'm impatient when I'm filming. Okay, so AG Berkey asked about how many different outfits the dolls wore during the movie. And for these girls right here, for Madison and Olivia, as their names are in the movie, they only wore one outfit the entire time because, or actually, no, they wore two, I guess. The entire movie takes place in one day. So these two wore these outfits the entire time. But there were a couple other characters who were wearing more old-fashioned outfits as well. Okay, so Kara Lee LS asked, is there anything in the movie that you're excited or nervous to see people's reactions to? And yes, actually, this movie has something that I haven't really done before, which is an emotional conflict. Most of my movies are fairly straightforward. The dolls have a problem and then they fix it. This one has like it has a varied storyline with sort of multiple conflicts in it, and I think it's interesting, but it'll be interesting to see how you guys react. Okay, someone asked about my favorite scene in the movie. I can't give it away, but I will say that it occurs in prehistoric times. Someone's asking, how did you feel once you finished the movie? AG Smiley Face Studios, thank you for that question. I feel such a sense of relief now that it is uploaded onto my YouTube and waiting to be released. I have spent 2 years thinking about this and planning for this and putting this together, and it is such a relief to be done. So someone, Connie Kristen asked, how do I choose dolls for a specific series? For this series, I wanted them to look related because they're supposed to be cousins. So I just chose two redheaded, sort of green-eyed dolls. And that was pretty much my only restriction for that. Someone asked, why do I keep doing what I do, AG Kittens? I keep making videos because I love it. Honestly, it is so much fun for me. It's good for me to feel productive and creative and have something to wake up and create every day. So I love making videos for YouTube. Okay, so four happy hippos asked how I organized the plot line. And what I did is I created a big Google Doc and sort of brainstormed my ideas and then sorted it into scenes and tried to create a story arc. And I actually didn't do a very good job of making it arc in the right place. I think it peaks a little bit too early. Um, but with stop motion, it's hard to go back and refilm. So you kind of just have to commit once you film the footage. Okay, so a bunch of people are joining in now, joining the party, and they're asking some questions that I answered earlier, but I'm going to answer them super quickly. Um, so this is a party for my Trapped in Time summer movie release, which is happening today at 6:30, which is in like 20 minutes, 24 minutes. Um, it's an 18-minute stop motion movie created using 15,000 photos. So there's the backup. Someone asked about my favorite prop from the movie, which I think is very interesting. I love creating props and sets, as you guys know. And what's really sad, actually, is my favorite prop that I made was something that I didn't end up including in the final video. I actually have a deleted scene from this movie that I'm considering uploading on my backup channel. So if you guys would like that, just let me know because I can easily upload that, and it's pretty cute. It's about 30 seconds long. And the prop from that I really enjoyed was a fountain, and I made it using a bunch of glass cups and then a plastic trash bag to be the water, and it was really cute. Someone asked if I recommend my doll number 61, which is this one right here. And yes, all of my dolls I recommend. I love all of them. They're awesome. AG Smiley Face Studios asked if I used all my dolls in the movie. And yes, I actually did. What's really funny is most of the movies is just these two right here. But then there's one scene where I use them all. Okay, people are asking to see the deleted scene, so I will be sure to post that on my backup YouTube channel, which is Basil Mento. So Owl Buddy asked if anyone helped me with the movie or if it was all me. And the answer is that always with any video project, there are a lot of people to thank. There are a lot of contributors. I do all the filming and editing and stuff myself, but my parents gave me plenty of space. If I needed to film in a room, they would clear out and let me film there, which is really generous of them. Um, my brother sometimes helps me like move around props and make sets. And my friend Alex actually loaned me a green screen, so I have to thank her for that. And my friend Nicole loaned me a doghouse. So yeah, a lot of the actual technical work I did myself, but I had plenty of help from my friends and family, and I'm really thankful for that. Okay, so someone asked, how do you make your dolls nod in an AGSM? That was Craftiest Pack 7. This is actually a great opportunity to show you guys how I make my dolls nod and how I make them blink, because that is a very frequently asked question. So to make the dolls nod, I press down on their nose like this, and then take a picture. Press down more, take a picture. Press down more, take a picture. And then I tilt their chin up, tilt their chin up. And in this, might not be able to tell in real life, but once you watch the footage, you will see them nodding their head. And then to make them close their eyes, which is another frequent question, I push their eyelashes into the bottom of their eye socket. It looks pretty gruesome, but it works. It's so much easier than taping their eyes shut. So yeah, those are great tips if you guys want to do those. Someone asked how I came up with character names and personalities. That was AG Doll Stars. Coming up with their names, I just try to think of common names from the States that a lot of people have. Just something simple and common. Olivia and Madison are very common names, but I also think they're really pretty names. And then as far as personalities are concerned, I like to have dolls with sort of differing personalities. She's the young, innocent, kind of annoying one. She is older, more reserved, and a little bit angry all the time. Did any of my dolls get wet or dirty while filming? Monique Robinson asked about that. I did film a little bit in mud, so the bottoms of their feet definitely got dirty. But for the most part, they stayed pretty clean this time. Someone came up with the question how I got the name Trapped in Time. I lost who that was. Sorry for the person that commented that. Someone asked how I chose the name Trapped in Time. And the answer is that in this movie, as you will soon find out, they get trapped in time. I don't want to give away too much, but you guys will understand. Someone asked what kind of camera I use. I use a Canon Rebel T3i. It's a DSLR camera. It's like has the big lens and it's fancy and stuff. It's a fantastic camera. Let's see. Delusional Doll Studios asked, what's one thing you dislike about stop motioning? And I think the answer to that is that if you do make a mistake while you're filming, it is incredibly difficult to go back and reverse that mistake once you're in the editing phase. If you realize after filming, once you're on your computer editing the footage, that the lighting was bad or that the dolls moved awkwardly, it's way too much effort to go back and refilm the scene. So I've always struggled with choosing between refilming or just dealing with the mediocre footage. So that's one part of stop motion that I don't like. AG Pink Blossoms asked, how many times did your dolls fall over while filming? Countless times. I mean, especially when you're filming on rocky ground outdoors, the dolls will fall over every couple minutes. It's a constant struggle. XOX Christie asked, what editor did I use for the movie? I used Final Cut Pro X. But first, I send all the photos through this app called iStopMotion that strings them into a long video of pictures. And then I put it in Final Cut Pro X. Owl Buddy asked, similar question to earlier, how do I come up with names for the dolls in my stop motions? I usually go on babynames.com and then sort through the most popular names of the year or something. Just try to find simple, popular, pretty names. Ubali asked, what is your favorite AG movie you have ever done? I think my favorite is the Prom stop motion, but I also really like Midsummer Magic, and I'm very proud of that one too. And of course, Supergirls was the longest one I'd made up until now, so that will always hold a special place in my heart. All right, I am going to switch over to Instagram for a little bit and answer some questions from there. So if you're commenting on YouTube, just take a little break, give your hands a rest, no more typing, and I'm going to answer some questions from Instagram. Thank you for all the awesome questions so far, you guys. I really appreciate it. Oh my goodness, how many questions are there? Oh wow, a lot. All right. We Can Hide Swift asked, what was your least favorite and your favorite part of making it? My least favorite part was probably the editing, just because it's so time consuming and I don't like to sit still for very long in front of a computer screen. And my favorite part of making it was filming outside in the beautiful forest. AG Thin Mints asks, do you think this is your best video yet? Um, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of in this phase right now where I've seen my movie so many times, I'm kind of sick of it. But I'm pretty sure it is good work. I think I should be proud of it. I'm just getting a little bit tired of it. All right, one sec. I need to switch to Instagram on my computer because the comments are coming in really quickly and it's difficult to keep track of. Sorry, guys, one sec. All right, back to the questions. Owl Buddy asked, did you ever get frustrated while filming? And yeah, pretty much anytime I make a stop motion, I have mishaps. You know, the dolls fall over, or sometimes my dog will come lie down in the middle of my set. I know a lot of you guys who have cats know what that's like. So yeah, my dog will come lie down in the set, or people will be knocking things over accidentally when they walk by, or the dolls fall over in the wind. Um, or, you know, I'm out hiking really far into the forest to film and I run out of water or sunscreen or, you know, things happen. So, yeah, definitely I get frustrated when I filmed a little bit. Someone, okay, this is interesting. That's just JoJo on Instagram, asked me in the future, what do you imagine your job to be? And this isn't exactly related to the movie, but I'll answer it anyways, because I know a lot of people were wondering about what I plan to do with Basil Mentos in the future. And I plan to continue making videos, but I think I want to find a career in something science related because I love science and I think it'd be really interesting to do research and stuff. So we'll see where that takes me. On Instagram, Kirsten Wendelt17 asked, how do you deal with the haters? When I first started YouTube, I definitely was very annoyed by haters, but over time, I guess I've sort of gotten used to it and I just ignore them. I think I've realized too that if you respond to haters, it will only make them come back stronger. So I just ignore them and block them. Okay, interesting. On Instagram, Crazy AG Films asked, do you use a script? And yes, for this movie, I did use a script. But what I did is I would take my dolls out to the location, set up the scene, and as I was setting up the scene and the dolls, I would think about what was going to happen in that scene. And I would always carry this little notebook with me. I'll show it to you guys right here. This little notebook is where I would write down the lines for each scene. So once I got out into the forest, I would sort of like look around, take some inspiration, and write down what I wanted the dolls to say. And then as the scene moved forward, I could cross things out and rewrite them. The main reason I do this is so that when I go back to editing on my computer, I know what the dolls are supposed to be saying. Because there's nothing more annoying than getting to editing and having no idea what you're supposed to do with voice recordings. Anna Stop Motion on Instagram asked, how old are your dolls in the movie? In the movie, I do mention that Madison here is in grade 10, so she would be 15 or 16. Yeah, 15 or 16. I never actually mention Olivia's name, but I think I insinuate that she's around 12, maybe 13. Mini Bubble on Instagram asked, do you mess up a lot? And the answer is yes, I do. When I'm filming outside, especially, I have to refilm a lot of shots. And then when I'm going through to edit, I have to cut out like almost half of the footage because a lot of it is not very good. AG Sunflower Studios on YouTube asked, for this specific movie, did you enjoy editing more or did you like filming more? And oh, definitely for this movie, filming was much more fun because it was all very outdoorsy. And the editing wasn't so fun because it was me just sitting in front of my computer. I do like doing voice recordings, but not this time very much. So Pink Peach Creations on YouTube asked a question that makes me sad, but I think I have to address it. She asked, what's going to happen to Basil Mentos when you have a job and don't have as much time for video making? And actually, I'm going to be going to university soon and going to be living away from home and going to have way less time to make videos. So that's something I'm going to have to think about. And I think the answer is that I'm going to keep making videos because I love making videos and it makes me so happy, but definitely not going to be as frequent. For Happy Hippos asked, would you say that Final Cut Pro is a big upgrade from iMovie? Definitely, definitely a big upgrade, especially if you enjoy toying around with the sound, editing voice recordings and music. It is so much better than iMovie. For me, it was definitely worth the money. AG Sapphire Productions asked, what pace do you set your stop motions to? I do 12 frames per second or 14 frames per second. Forever Love AG asked, did you ever have to refilm scenes? Yes, I did have to refilm a few scenes for this one, but I'm really glad I did because it came out much better the second time. Shanice's AG Splashes asks, what was the hardest scene to film throughout the whole movie? I think the most difficult scene was the scene where they were walking on the main road because I was filming in public and it was very difficult. Someone asked, let's see, Doll Studios asked, where do you keep your props? In my room, in a huge cluttered mess is basically the right answer. I do have a couple boxes underneath my bed where I put them. Bailey Kitten 321 asked, does anyone else you know on a personal level know about Basil Mentos? And the answer is, a year ago, I would have said no. I didn't tell anybody for the majority of my life. But recently I've started telling my friends and they've been super supportive about it. Darling Dollies on Instagram asked, do you ever tweak the storyline or do you just stick with the original? I usually stick with the main idea of the original storyline, but as I edit and work on it, it definitely morphs and changes. What I had envisioned when I first started working is nothing like the finished product. AG Bunny 113 asked, are you taking all your dolls to college? The answer is no, because dorm rooms are super, super tiny and there's not really space for any of that stuff, sadly. 123 AG Love asked, do you tell your family members about AGTube? Yes, all my family members know and they're all like super proud. And whenever I post a new video, they send out a group email. Pink Peach Creations asked, once you're finished with a video, do you keep all the props? Yes, I do. I keep pretty much everything that I create if I'm proud of it. They're sometimes sort of junkier props that didn't take that much effort, and I'll throw those away or recycle those. But if it's something that I worked hard on, I have to keep it. Catherine's Clay Creations, would you ever consider making a non-doll channel when you go to university? Honestly, I really enjoy making stop motions, and I guess I enjoy making live videos too, but the whole reason I'm here on YouTube is because I love to create stop motion movies. You know, taking the photos, making the sets, putting it all together with the voiceovers is honestly my passion, and it's something I want to continue doing. I don't think I would start another YouTube channel just for the sake of having a channel. If I'm going to keep going, it's because I love making Basil Mentos videos. Catherine Kunn asked, how many storylines have you abandoned? Which I think is an interesting thought. I actually have a notebook full of video ideas. I can show it to you guys one sec. And a lot of them I never ended up creating, which is really sad. Yeah, I have a bunch of ideas here, but I never made a lot of those. Monique Robinson asked, do you ever ruin any doll clothes during filming? Yes, every once in a while I'll rip them on something, but usually I can wash them or sew them back together. Oh, someone asked, Catherine Kunn asked about where I got the green hat that Julia wears in the movie. This green hat is retired from American Girl. It's so cute. I don't know exactly which set it came in. I believe it was a Pleasant Company camping set. Someone asked, let's see, Mia Day asked about how much time I spend filming and editing every day and also left me a very nice comment. Thank you, Mia. On an average day, I usually don't film or edit, but on days where I do, I dedicate pretty much the entire day. AG Jeans asks, what will I study in college and will it be stop motion related? I don't exactly know what I plan to study yet. I really enjoy sciences, but I also enjoy humanities and writing and history. So I think I'm going to end up spreading myself pretty thin trying to study everything. Someone asked, how do I use a green screen? So I got a green screen from my friend Alex, and I laid it up against a bed. And there is a setting in Final Cut Pro X where you can do this thing called keyer. It's not called green screen, it's called keyer. You drag your little green screen footage in, and then you apply this effect called keyer. That's pretty much as I can say over here. I could do a tutorial sometimes if you guys need it. Where did you get Julia's jeans she is wearing now? These are from American Girl a couple years ago, I think. AG5 stars asks, how do you feel about being so famous and coming so far? I guess I never really think of myself as famous because I'm kind of just a normal person. But I'm so thankful for all of my viewers and subscribers, and it honestly amazes me that so many people watch my videos. It's actually an honor every time I go like see how many views I have, and I'm really thankful for your support. So thank you guys for that. AG Sapphire Productions asked, did you ever imagine you would come this far when you joined AGTube? When I joined AGTube, my idol, Stevens What a Dancer, had 3,000 subscribers. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, maybe someday I'll have 3,000 subscribers. So I definitely made it farther than I imagined I would. All right, a couple more comments from Instagram. Where do you buy, BBC asked, where do you buy green screen and how much? I actually didn't buy a green screen, but I believe it's like $40 on the internet. AG Dolly Doos, yeah, AG Dolly Doos asked, what other hobbies do you have? I love to run. I run like 5K a day probably. I also love hanging out with my friends and hiking and going to the beach and that kind of stuff. Faith Grace Hope asked, do you use a camera stand when you're filming? Yes, I use a Sony tripod. Okay, someone asked on Instagram where I got Camille's outfit. This is a Liberty Jane clothing outfit. It's a doll couture website. You can get a top there for about $8 and the shorts for $12, and they're handmade, beautiful stuff from this woman named Cinnamon. LibertyJaneClothing.com. Someone asked about how I tell my friends about my hobby. And honestly, lately, my friends have mostly been finding out because they come in my room and there is doll stuff everywhere. That's usually the main indicator for them, and it's pretty easy. Okay, so there are 2 minutes till the video is uploaded, which is incredibly exciting. And I'm going to have to leave soon so that you guys can sit back and enjoy Trapped in Time. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to this chat and for supporting me through this huge journey. This movie was really ambitious, and it's bigger than anything I've ever made before. But you guys have been super supportive the whole way, so I really appreciate that. And I hope that you guys enjoy Trapped in Time. It'll be coming out in 2 minutes. All right, I will see you guys on the other side. Enjoy the video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Thanks for watching!